I'm Natalia, the founder of Upskill Me. Welcome to my next video. And you will never hear me say, please like my video, please like all my videos, please subscribe to my channel, please click on that bell button, whatever, so that you get email notifications about every next video so that you don't miss out on the opportunity to watch another video. You will never hear me say that. It's not important if you watch my video or you don't. And I do not care if you will watch my next video. It doesn't make any sense for me to control how many people watch my videos, and it's ultimately your decision what content to consume, what content to create, what videos to watch, and what people to learn from. The topic of today's video is, what if there is no YouTube? What if there are no email notifications about the next important video? What if all these bloggers have no platform to stream on? What if there is no YouTube? I have been creating educational programs for adults and teenagers. I create programs for non-native speakers who want to improve their language skills in English for over 15 years. My whole career has been about education, and I'm very concerned with what's going to happen to education in the future. I've always been asking myself a question: what do I need to do to learn better? What skills do I need to acquire to be able to learn better, faster, more efficiently? Because what I want to learn is very interesting for me, so I want to get better at it. How do I get better at it? And I realized that today people go to YouTube to find information. People go to YouTube when they want to learn something. Let's say you want to learn to play a musical instrument. You go to YouTube to look for video tutorials, to look for videos. People who want to learn a foreign language, they go to YouTube and they watch YouTube lessons. People who want to monetize whatever skills they have go to YouTube, start blogging, start vlogging, start monetizing their channels. And social media has become a learning platform in a way. People are used to looking for and finding information they need on social media, on YouTube primarily, and people are used to watching free YouTube lessons, and they associate it with learning. Watching YouTube videos and learning are two identical things in the minds of many people. And so I asked myself this question: what's going to happen if there is no YouTube tomorrow? What if it goes down? What will happen to those kids who dream to become YouTubers today? They dream of growing up and starting their own YouTube channel. What will they do? What will all these people do who want to learn English, who want to learn Spanish, who want to learn to play the guitar, and who want to get in shape? What will happen to all those people who do yoga on YouTube today, who learn German, English, and other skills on YouTube today? People who are used to checking all kinds of possible information on YouTube, where will they go and what will they do? Will you cancel your next yoga class if there is no internet or if there is no YouTube? Will you stop practicing your language skills if there is no YouTube? You will say, look, I couldn't find a lesson online, so there was nothing I could do. There was no material I could use to practice my English skills, so I had to cancel. Will your dreams collapse if the profession of a YouTuber stops to exist? Will you lose your income if YouTube stops paying you for creating content and spreading this content all over the internet? What will happen? I think it's not a big surprise to anyone any longer that social media is addictive, that people spend way too much time on their phone, on social media, and they find all kinds of useful things to do there. And as I said previously, many people associate social media with learning, social media content with learning. But social media only gives you content. Learning is a process, learning is work, and most people don't realize that. There are also so many people, so many articles, so many social media posts about quitting Facebook, quitting Instagram, quitting all social media, quitting your smartphone, social detox, whatever. The idea is that people talk about this addiction and people suggest ways to break free from this addiction. If you watch too many YouTube videos, maybe it's time to stop. That's what they say. But you know what's funny to me is that every single time the situation is the same. A person makes a post on social media that says, I'm going to quit all social media for 30 days. They do. They quit social media for 30 days, only to come back in 30 days to create another social media account in case they had deleted the previous one and tell everybody how this experience had been for them. People experiment a lot with these ideas, but they end up coming back to social media. It's a vicious cycle, it's a loop. And this is what concerns me. The fact that people don't really realize that. They do talk about the right things, but their actions are inconsistent with their words. When people consume educational content today, they are involved in the process of direct instruction. What happens is that they turn the video on and they expect to receive valuable information from that video. There might be a person on the other side of the screen, but usually it's a video recording, right? It's a video recording where either a person is instructing them or a piece of software is telling them what needs to be done or how they're supposed to learn. Anyway, it's a method of direct instruction. People turn on the video and they expect to be taught. And I think this is the main problem in learning today, and social media and YouTube content only facilitates that problem, is that people are really losing the skill to learn and instead they expect to be taught. They expect that somebody will give them valuable information and they think that they decide what information is valuable. They think that they choose what YouTube videos to watch. They think that they choose what YouTube channels are more valuable, are more educational, just more interesting. But in fact, they don't really get to choose because YouTube algorithms recommends videos that it thinks are valuable to them. They subscribe to many YouTube channels that probably produce no valuable content, or not every video is as valuable to them as they want it to be, but they keep receiving email notifications and they keep paying attention to the information that is probably of little value to them today or right now. And this method of direct instruction doesn't help us to learn how to learn, doesn't help us to learn to acquire a skill. What it fosters this habit of wanting to consume more content. People are not learning to create anything. People are so used to consuming and people are expecting someone to create something for them. And those people who create something for them do so because they get paid for that. My question here is that really education? And what if somebody stops getting paid for producing content? What if YouTube stops paying them? What if they can't monetize their YouTube channels anymore? What if advertisers stop paying for that? And what if you stop receiving email notifications about the next video that just came out?
What will happen to you?
Will you forget about that content? Will you find it less valuable? What exactly will happen? But the method of direct instruction in all my 15 years of experience has never proven to work. People are delusioned and they're brainwashed into thinking that watching YouTube videos is education, that watching YouTube videos is developing a skill. Listening to information, watching a video has nothing to do with the process of learning, because it does not involve deliberate practice. And most of the time, people think that watching a video is really practicing. Let's say many people watch TV shows or movies with or without subtitles, and they think it's practice. They think they're practicing their language skills. They think they're even improving their listening skills and their speaking skills and their reading skills and their English skills in general, simply when they watch a trailer to the new movie, or simply when they watch a movie scene on YouTube, or when they watch a movie scene with subtitles, or when subtitles are translated into their first language. It's not practice. they're not really improving anything, they're simply maintaining the same level. And I have another video on subtitles, should you keep them on or off. You can click on that button, wherever that is, somewhere up here, and watch that video. So number one is direct instruction, which never really has worked in education. And my concern is that people are getting used to that, and the more content is created online, the more content they consume, the stronger this habit becomes. The second thing that concerns me is the result of the first one, is that people are really losing the skill to learn, and very few people actually understand what it takes to learn a skill. Most expect to be taught a skill. Learning a skill is a journey from I know nothing about it to I can do it without thinking. When you can do something without thinking much about it, in any conditions, using any brand of your equipment, you know how to do it, and you can do it anytime, any day. And it doesn't matter to you if someone is watching, if someone is looking at you, if someone is listening, if your coach is around. If you can do it, you simply do it. If you can speak a foreign language, you speak it with everybody, right? You travel to another country and you feel at home. If you can present your ideas in English, if you can create video content, you simply do it. But it takes a lot of work to learn how to do that. You can't speak beautiful English after you have watched 30 video lessons. It will not happen. This is not how it works, unfortunately. Learning how to learn implies working on your own skills, working on your personal qualities. No one on the other side of the screen can do this work for you. And even understanding what qualities we're talking about here, what do I need to work on to learn this skill, it's also your work. I talk about 9 skills usually that are required for people to move to higher language skills. And as soon as you reach intermediate or upper intermediate level in English, you need to start working on your skills rather than consuming more knowledge, more grammar, more sophisticated vocabulary. But again, my list is not complete, probably. This is the list that works for me, and I have been practicing the skills myself again and again and again. Every single day for many years I've been practicing the same skills. It's attentiveness, it's intensive listening skills and short-term memory, brevity, clarity, the rhythm of English, diction, articles, because this is tough for non-native speakers, especially for Russian speakers. A playlist with all 9 is on my YouTube channel as well. It's our responsibility, it's our work to develop those skills. And you know, another thing I keep thinking about is that most online courses today are very short. When people watch a YouTube lesson, they expect to learn something from this YouTube lesson right now, right this minute. And they expect the next YouTube lesson to be short, valuable, and they expect it to teach them something. A great number of online courses will sell you the idea that you can learn a skill in just 2 weeks. You can learn to draw in 3 weeks. You can learn a foreign language in just 2 months. You can become a professional illustrator, fashion illustrator, or you can learn to play a guitar in just a few lessons, pretty much in just a few clicks. What you get is you get direct instruction, you get a finite number of lessons, and you get an illusion that this is all you need to learn a skill. And maybe you even get a certificate, which is, to my surprise, a very big fat criterion for many people, getting a certificate. But a certificate is not really the same as a skill. A certificate only tells you that you have completed a course, and you know this yourself, that you have completed this course. The fact that you now have the skill can never be on the certificate. This line can never be on the certificate. This is what other people tell you. This is what you learned from interacting with other people. This is what you learned from giving feedback to yourself. Are you good at what you do? Are you paid for what you do? Do people appreciate your work? Do people value your feedback? How long does it take you to do that? How long does it take professionals to do the same thing? This is what you learn yourself. Do you really have a skill or not? And it doesn't matter how many online courses you will take, it doesn't matter how many video lessons you will watch, none of them will guarantee the fact that you will acquire a skill, because none of them can control the amount of work you put into acquiring a skill. I do think it's a problem that people associate watching YouTube videos with learning. I do think it's a problem that our teenagers or our kids don't move much anymore today. And even adults, we sit in front of our computers all day long, we consume as much information as possible and we call it learning. Many people are simply addicted to taking one online course after another one. They don't really put anything they have learned into practice. As soon as they finish one course, they start another one. But this information or consumption of information doesn't really do us any good if we can't learn a skill. If with every new course we're not learning anything new about ourselves, we're not learning anything new about learning a skill and about the best way for us to learn. Because what happens today is that every online course, every online school, every teacher will tell you that they know the best strategy you should use to learn what you need. How can someone else know how you learn best? It's impossible, it's your work. And we need to take responsibility for this work ourselves. And I do think it's also a problem that people don't write anything today anymore. I mean, we're losing our handwriting skills. And this is really a problem. I myself, I take 1 million of notes every day. Note-taking is a big thing in my life. I take notes when I listen to my students, I take notes when I listen to podcasts, I make notes when I think and when I need to structure whatever's happening in my head. I always plan my lessons and all the events that I organize on paper, and only then I type them. And I don't want to lose that skill. Yes, sometimes, when I write a blog post, I immediately write it on a computer. I need to type it. Note-taking and making notes is essential. It really helps me think better, it helps me crystallize my ideas, and it helps me structure my message. And people are losing that skill. When I give my students a task to take a pen and write something down, I hear complaints every time, especially if it's new to them. They tell me, oh, my handwriting is terrible.
It's terrible.
I will not be able to read whatever I'm going to scribble right now. Or something like, my handwriting is ugly, no one can read that. Or it's gonna take long.
And it's gonna take a long, long, long time.
I want to get it done faster, because it's faster for people to type with their thumb, to type on a keyboard. It has become abnormal to write something with our hand. But writing is an amazing skill because it does help us learn. And when we write something with our hand, so many miraculous, magical things are happening in our brain. And when we disconnect this, neurons, and when we disconnect these tasks, when we separate them, when we stop using a pen, we're depriving ourselves of building so many valuable connections and building so many valuable neural pathways. So what if there is no YouTube tomorrow? Where will you go for content? Where will you go for free YouTube lessons? Will you have materials to practice the skill that you need to practice, that you need to acquire? People are so busy looking for the best teachers, for the best courses. They look around hoping to find something that will work for them, and they're looking for these things outside of what they know. Probably this is the right idea. It sounds like a sound idea. However, I want to challenge you to start looking inward and to start asking yourself, what will I do if there is no YouTube tomorrow? What will I do if no one is going to tell me what to do tomorrow? What will I do if there is no video to help me do this work, to help me learn the Spanish ABC, to help me learn more English vocabulary, to help me learn to play the guitar or whatever? What will I do? And what can I do to be more independent of content? YouTube content, social media, people's opinions on social media, somebody's structure, somebody's ideas of how I need to learn best. What do I need to work on to learn faster? The answer to these questions for myself has been working on the quality of my thinking, how I think, developing my qualities, my personal qualities. I'm not talking about professional qualities even, because foundational human qualities, if you have them, you will be a great professional. It goes without saying. It's fundamental. If you know what responsibility is, if you know what it means to take care of other human beings, if you know what it means to be kind, you will be an amazing professional. But we know so many professionals who are just nasty human beings, unfortunately. But to me, the answer has been to work on my personal qualities and to develop all those 9 skills that I have previously mentioned. These 9 skills help me advance my language skills every day. No one can learn these skills for you. So look inward. Ask yourself what you will do if there's no social media, to brag about your success, to post your language certificates, to tell people how wrong they are, or to tell people how right they are, to share emotional testimonials about the courses you have taken. What will you do? You don't need to like this video. You don't need to subscribe if you don't want to. You don't need to consume content. Rather, I challenge you to do something after you have watched this video. Maybe take a pen and a piece of paper and write down whatever comes to mind. Consuming is not the answer. Consuming more and more content is not the answer. Monetizing more and more content is not the answer either. We need a generation of young, thoughtful, committed people who know how to learn and who can teach the next generation how to learn, how to be responsible, how to take care of themselves, how to be less dependent and less sensitive to opinions of other people about their success and about their learning journey.